Blessings, brothers and sisters, warriors of YAHUAH and the truth. I'm continuing on with our series, Fall of Babel at the End of Days. There's Penelope. Institutionalization of Christianity. Enforced state religion of Roman Empire. The teachings hatched at the Catechetical School of Alexandria persist in every modern seminary today. The apostasy, falling away from Torah, became institutionalized, and men's traditions were set up to conceal their former pagan origins. The title Father, identifying the fathers. I'm going to try to make another video later. I'm going to try to put this on the holder. I'm just going to try to have to move the holder in here and turn the phone so I don't like how the gray lines go on the sides. But here we go. For centuries after the resurrection of Yahusha, false teachers arose to draw away disciples after themselves, just as Shaul predicted would occur at Acts 20. Okay, let me see. Hold on, I'm sorry. Okay. Today we look back and call these men the Church Fathers or the Circus Fathers. Bella, don't eat my hair. Augustine, Tertullian, Jerome, Epiphanius, and a dozen others guided the doctrines, and a great falling away occurred through these elders. Bishops, overseers. Circus does everything Yahusha told us not to do. A few examples. Yahuwah tells us not to learn the ways of the heathen, nor serve him in their way, like the holidays, the pagan holidays and traditions. See Deuteronomy 12:30-32. Yahusha told us man does not live by bread only, but every word that proceeds from the mouth of Yahuwah. With this in mind, we see the world learning the opposite. We revise the paganism and do it anyway. It's brainwashing, it's programming. Eggs, rabbits, trees, steeples, statues, water, wreaths, Easter, Christmas, Sunday, monks, and much more. We're brainwashed since we were children, so some people, it's very hard for them to break away from the traditions or the holidays. He tells us to rest on the seventh day. So we rest on the first day and work on the seventh. That doesn't make any sense. Why do we do that? He tells us what is food and permitted to eat. We tell him we're going to eat everything we want to eat, misled by teachers. He tells us to call on his name, Yahuwah. Instead, we call him by generic terms, even former pagan proper nouns and words we inherited that are nothing like his name. G-O-D-B-E-L, Baal, equals L-O-R-D. He tells us to observe specific appointed times, so we use our own reasoning mostly based on formerly pagan observances. We've adapted to fit what we want them to mean. We follow men who scorn the Nazarene and wanted nothing in common with the Yahudim, admitted but to by their own words, but were forsaken. Daniel 7:25. All the nations of the earth are invited to graft into the commonwealth of Israel through the covenant. Ephesians 2:8 through 13. But the spin put upon obeying the covenant is very deceptive, calling it legalism. You better not. If we are legal, then we are true citizens of Israel. If we are practicing lawlessness, which is illegalism, we are impostors and usurping what is not ours to claim. We cannot simultaneously claim to be Yahush's followers and not obey Torah. If we claim to know him, then we obey the commandments. See 1 YAHUAH'S chapters 2 and 3. The 4th century church circus father Epiphanius gave a detailed description of the Nazarene. We shall now especially consider heretics who call themselves Nazarene. They are mainly Jews and nothing else. They make use not only of the New Testament, but they also use in a way the Old Testament of the Jews. For they do not forbid the books of the law, the prophets, and the writings, so that they are approved of by the Jews, for whom the Nazarene do not differ in anything, and they profess all the dogmas pertaining to the prescriptions of the law and to the customs of the Jews, except they believe in Messiah. They preach that there is but one God, and his son Yahusha the Messiah. But they are very learned in the law, in the Hebrew language, for they, like the Jews, read the whole law, then the prophets. They differ from the Jews because they believe in Messiah, and from the Christians in that they are to this day bound to the Jewish rites, such as circumcision, the Shabbat, and other ceremonies. They have the good news according to Matthew in its entirety, in Hebrew, for it is clear that they still preserve this in the Hebrew alphabet as it was originally written. Obviously, Epiphanius would forbid the law, prophets, and writings, the Tanakh, often referred to by Yahusha. The Shabbat observance, a day blessed at creation, was observed by Yahusha, yet those who walk as he walked are heretics. This record hits on how doctrinally arrogant things had become very early, and why Christian doctrines are so different from the real first followers of Yahusha. After a new flagrant error crept in, called apostolic succession, along with the idea that the church hierarchy could supersede any commandment and usurp the name Israel, Yasharal, for itself. Yasharal means to rule with Elohim. There is evidence that the Nazarene sect continued to exist until at least the 13th century. The Catholic writings of Bonacursus, entitled Against the Heretics, refers to Nazarene. They were also called Pasagini, those who lived in the passes, hiding from the magisterium. Bonacursus says, we shall now, let those who are not yet acquainted with them, please know how perverse their belief and doctrine are. First, they teach that we should obey the law of Moses, and the legal precepts still being in force. Furthermore, to increase their error, they condemn and reject all the church fathers and the whole Roman Church. We are accursed of being Yahudim, but we are really made up of all the scattered tribes in captivity. Get Roscoe. among the nations, in captivity among the nations. As the prodigal son found himself when he awakened to himself and returned to the covenant, the Father's household, Torah. In fact, we are those described at Revelation 12 and 14. 1. We hold to the testimony of Yahusha steadfastly. We confess Yahusha and live according to what he taught. And 2, we obey the commandments of Yahuwah. For this, we are branded as perverse heretics. That's just blasphemous. He called on the one true only name, Yahuwah. Each time we utter the deliverer's name, Yahusha HaMashiach, we have never been part of the accepted whole. Tertullus, a hired accuser of Paul, addressed the ruler Felix with these words at Acts 24:5. For we have found this man a pestilent fellow and a mover of sedition among all the Yahudim throughout the world, and a ringleader of the sect, G 139, heresies of the Nazarene, G 3480. The Greek word heresies above gives us our word heresy, translated sect. The sect being spoken of was not the Christians, because Christians developed later. Now we are called a cult. Bella, stop, please. Bella, stop, please. But cult is a word for culture. We are a Torah culture. Hebrew names have been mutilated by translators. Yashayahu has become Isaiah. Ayub became Job. Una became Jonah. Adam's wife Kua became Eve. Musha became Moses. Yechezkel became Ezekiel. Yehud became James, and so on. Some names suffered less than others, as we see them preserved more accurately in their transliterations. Babel, Dan, Adam, Abraham, Nimrod, Eber, and so on. The Hebrew names should be transliterated, not translated, as accurately as possible, because that is how proper names are handled. You don't translate a name. A city, region, lake, river, person is identified by name. Otherwise, they are words, because words can be translated in different languages. A name cannot be. Our words are pearls, and the pearl of great price has been a treasure hidden in a field for too long. The name of Yahuwah was removed by translators, and their preface explains this blasphemy, ruination of his name. The name turned the world upside down once, Acts 17:6, and it's going to cause the fall of Babel this time. Key of knowledge and pearl of great price. Yahuwah's name, the Messiah you expected, will never come. The Messiah that's coming, you never expected. If we dig for the treasure in Scripture, we will find it. Seek and you will find. Ask and you will get the answers. Be hearers of the word and not just doers. If we pursue wisdom with all of our heart, words are like pearls. Many names have been mutilated beyond recognition. The name James is a good example. James sounds familiar to us, but is very different from how it began. The name Jacob or James derives from the Hebrew language. We've been conditioned to accept what is not real. James is backtraced to IAMES, Geneva and KJV title pages to the Latin Vulgates, IACOBUS, to the Greek Zemes from the original Hebrew or Iberese name. Yaqub. At his birth, Yaqub came out holding the heel of his twin brother, Esau.
This is crazy. What's going on?
Or Esau. It's okay. The Hebrew root for, I know, baby. The Hebrew word for Yaqub is 3 letters. AQB. A-N, Kaf, Bet, or Beth, meaning to follow, to be behind, but also to supplant, circumvent, assail, overreach, or from the word for heel. Transliterated, A-Q-E-B. After wrestling with the messenger of Yahuwah all night, Yahuwah renamed him Yasharal. Okay, my next video, I have to record on my phone right now. My husband has OCD. He doesn't like the laptop to be moved off the desk, so I can't. And I can't record in the living room anymore, so I will read in my next lesson. Shh! The name debate. The stone the builders rejected. The Messiah you expected will never come. The Messiah that's coming you never expected. They have another section on that in here. Lou did a good job with this book. Yahusha is the Aleph Ta, the Prince of Peace. And that's probably all I'll have time to read for my next lesson. But I want to continue doing lessons for you guys, even if I have to be quiet. I noticed that all of you guys were very supportive about me still doing lessons, even though I have to be quiet. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all so much. I'm going to continue to spread the word of Yah, no matter what. Nothing's going to stop me. I love you all, Mishpaka. Shalom and blessings. Yahuwah bless you all.